Scott Susie around town with you. We have a really exciting one. We're over at the Delaware Sportsplex, and today we're going to meet some fantastic people in the sport of basketball. We've got Phil Martelli from the St. Joe's Hawks, and we've got Robert Donde DeShields, one of the most winningest coaches in NBA history. Let's get in there. Let's find out what's going on with these guys. Let's see what kind of insights and wisdom they impart on us here in Delaware. Hi, I'm Scott Susie. You may know me as the limo guy, but today we're doing an around town interview, and we're at the Delaware Sportsplex with a very, very familiar face. One of the Richmond brothers is with me, and this guy is something special. He's just off his recent tour with the Harlem Globetrotters, Mr. Joe Richmond, the world famous Harlem Globetrotters, we have to add. Thank you, Joe. I'm sorry about that. Joe, how you doing?
Oh man, I can't complain, but I want to thank you guys for coming out for our first annual Delaware Sportsplex coaching clinic. If you can see right in the background, we got Coach Donde DeShields, one of the prolific community college coaches probably in the last 10 years. He's out of 300-something wins, and that's just phenomenal in this day and age.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive. But I seem to think that you and your brother are more impressive with the direction that you guys have taken. So tell us a little bit about what In Focus is and where that is, where people can see that online.
Oh man, you can go to www.imfocus.org. And I Am Focus is just an opportunity for us to do a lot of community outreach through the avenue of sports, whether it be basketball, volleyball, baseball. We just cover the whole gamut as far as sports is concerned. And right now we've been going a little bit over 10 years, and it's been an awesome opportunity for us to be out here dealing with a lot of communities, not just the inner city, but also out and also the business community. And it's been a beautiful, beautiful relationship for us.
So how did Delaware Sportsplex get involved with your organization? Did they come to you? Did you go to them? How did it all happen?
Well, Mr. Steve Lindeman, who's the owner of the Delaware Sportsplex, he has one of the most awesome volleyball organizations called the Delaware Juniors. And he came up with the vision of putting everything under one house for practice, for training, for tournaments, and learning as far as leagues as well. So right here, when he had this opportunity, my daughter, India, played in his leagues with his volleyball. So it was just a no-brainer when he came up with an opportunity to have the Delaware Sportsplex. I was all in.
And that's, not only you all in, but if you turn around, Dan, and check out ATI Physical Therapy is here, and we're going to check out the whole facility. There's so much going on right here under this roof. So we're going to go and sit at a former NFL player, one of my favorites, at his desk while he's not here, and maybe we'll do some crazy things with his desk, leave some things inside his desk. I don't know, Joe. Joe wants to, no.
Lee still look like he can run over a couple of running backs, man. You don't want to mess with Lee.
So it's Lee Woodall from the San Francisco 49ers. So we'll go check him out, okay? Check out where he works, and then maybe sometime in the future we'll get that interview. But tell us a little bit more. Who's here today? And so we know Coach Donde DeShields is here, and very, very successful coach. And then do we have anyone else we may know?
Well, a lot of people might not know this guy, but Coach St. Joe's head coach Phil Martelli is coming, and he's been a great friend of my brother Mike for a long time. And we just got honored to have him come here, and it'll be his first time looking at the facility as well as some of the coaches that's also attending. And what we want to do is get people comfortable with the facility and kind of open our doors to everyone and let them know there's a family here. There's not just us. We're here for everyone. So if you want an opportunity to use this facility, please just contact us and come on in here. The Delaware Orthopedic Sportsplex is one of the best facilities in the state.
And it's DelawareSportsplex.com. So, just hit them on the web, get in contact with them that way. This place is pretty interesting, and can't wait to see Mr. Martelli. And let's go and check the place out. See you in a couple minutes. Joe, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, Scott Susie here around town with Coach Robert Donde DeShields. Coach, why are you here today at the Delaware Sportsplex?
Well, I'm just here to be a blessing so others can be blessed. It's all about wisdom and knowledge, sharing that, because we're dealing with young lives, and coaching is nothing more than how you handle young people. Because as a coach, you have to have compassion. As a player, you want the players to be passionate about the game of basketball. because the game of basketball could take you some places that you never think you'll be able to. I got an opportunity to go to Europe. More importantly, I got an opportunity to touch young lives.
And that's a really important thing. Touching that young life, pushing them to a different place, exposing them to something that'll get them to the next area of their lives. Would you think so?
Right. What I'm saying is that's great what you're saying, and it's all about leadership, building tomorrow's leaders through basketball. But I always tell my players, take the ball as far as you can take it, but you got to win that championship in the classroom, because that will enable you to get more degrees and be more effective in life.
And that's what it is. And it's the sacrifice. It's what Coach does on his Sunday off, out at the Delaware Sportsplex, and helping some new coaches out, helping some old coaches out, and helping this guy do the right interview. So, thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, how you doing? Scott Soucy once again with some interesting access that we're providing you on Delaware 28 and around town. So, who is it? Who is this gentleman? Rode all the way down from Pennsylvania, Mr. Phil Martelli, the head coach of the St. Joe's Hawks. Coach, thank you so much for coming on down today, and thank you so much for appearing on our show. But what brings you to Delaware today?
Well, there was a reach out to help some coaches to see if I could give some information and some knowledge. Basketball season is about to kick in. I know everybody's worried about their Delaware Blue Hens on Saturdays and their Philadelphia Eagles or their Ravens. I don't know exactly how the state is split, but it's basketball time. Practice starts officially October the 12th for us, and for many of these high school coaches, it's time to kind of discuss and think about the way that we do things.
Okay. And how did you guys do last year?
Well, 20 times the players did really well, and 14 times the coach was lousy. So that was our record, 20 and 14. But it was more the players than it was anything that I did. I have to do better for them. We have a gifted group coming back, an experienced group coming back, and one of the things that these coaches are doing, learning at these clinics, is what I do in my off time. I sit and think about basketball 24 hours a day.
And so how many prospective recruits normally come out of Delaware into your program? Any?
We have on occasion had players from Delaware. We've recruited in Delaware, and we haven't always been successful. You have a lot of great high school programs in this state, and I think that you're going to see more and more. I would keep everybody out there should keep a real close eye on St. Andrews, because St. Andrews is being coached by Terrell Myers, who's one of my all-time great players.
Yeah, and I had an opportunity to run into him not too long ago. So, really great young man, and that's an interesting observation and interesting advice for us here in Delaware. So, tell us, Delaware Sportsplex relationship to Joe Richmond. How did that happen?
Well, I've had with Coach Richmond. I've known him basically since he was a high school kid, and the Philadelphia ties are very they're tight and they're lifelong. So anytime a guy from Philadelphia reaches out to another Philadelphian, they can know and be with a great deal of certainty that we're going to be there for them. And this is another opportunity to be there for him on a Sunday afternoon.
And that's the ties that bring us together and keep everything flowing along. Coach, thanks.
All right.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we just wrapped it up. It was a great afternoon with Phil Martelli, Coach Robert Donde Shields at the Delaware Sportsplex. Make sure you check out DelawareSportsplex.com. They have some really great events coming up, and you need to get here and check those events out. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Mike Richmond, for a fantastic day. See you soon.